Welcome to the She Can Achieve podcast, your destination for women's empowerment. I'm Regina Sloan, your host and life coach. Join us as we dive into inspiring stories and practical advice to help you thrive in every area of your life. I want you to listen with this question in mind, though. How can this be applied to my journey? Every episode is packed with gems if you're looking for them. Thanks for being here. Let's go. Hey y'all, so I sometimes have amazing ideas and sometimes not so amazing ideas, but I was sitting here thinking I had a lot on my mind, and when I get these downloads for myself, I love to share them because I know if I'm thinking it, at least 1 million other people are thinking it. And so anyway, wanted to hop on and record an episode, but I was like, ooh, I should also record it because y'all know I love to do reels. But I'm thinking like I would save time by recording myself, share these gems, and then just clipping them later. So we'll see how it goes. I know people like video podcasts as well. It just has never been something I wanted to do because I'm like, it just seems weirder. I'm looking at myself right now. It just seems a little weird. So y'all might see the video, y'all might not. I'm going to record it because the idea came to me, and sometimes those crazy ideas end up being winners. All right, I also don't have my mic holder, so I'm like trying to gauge how close to be. So I just bear with me, turn the volume up and down if you need to. So today, what I want to talk about, I took a few notes, some things that I wanted to make sure I got across, but most of this is going to be conversational. I wanted to get this together, talk about something that came to my mind as I was thinking about how to get better at, this fan is going. One second. This already isn't working out. Help them reach their results faster, to get it, to, like we just want to create all the things. And so that's what I was thinking about. And I've had this thought come across my mind a few times or several times over the last couple of years. I don't think I've done a podcast or even a live about it. So I think it'll be fun. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is why self-compassion and having your own back is, I didn't want to say the key to success because I don't want people to like read into that like, oh, all you need is that and you'll just magically be successful. So I think I titled it A Key, one of the best tools, something like it's very high up there on the scale. But if I had the energy and time and all of that, I would argue that it might be the best. Because these two things is, I think, what's required to help you do the other things, or at least they're part of the requirement process. They're part of the characteristics that you need to have to help you do the other things that create success. And I'd be happy to have a conversation about with people who disagree, for sure about it. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about those two things, self-compassion and having your own back. I'm going to first define each, before I talk about each, define what they mean to me so we're on the same playing field. I was going to look it up on Google, but I really just want to say how I feel and what's coming up for me. And one reason why I like to do that is because as I grow, I get to look back and listen and see how my thoughts have changed. My beliefs have changed over time. I think that's super cool. And I also truly believe that everybody's truth is different. So here we go. I first want to talk about self-compassion, and what I've written down that I define it as, just as I was thinking about it, no preparation, is someone who can being self-compassionate, or someone who has is self-compassionate. I think that's the best way to say that. They can connect positively with their inner mess. And I'm going to talk more about what I mean by that. When I think about self-compassion and having this and doing this with yourself, I don't think about any negativity. And I'm defining negativity as it has a net negative result. So the result that happens from you having self-compassion, that doesn't sound like I'm saying it right, from you being self-compassionate. I don't know, someone in LA, language arts, let me know. Anyway, I don't see that creating any negative result for anyone. So that's what I mean by there's no negative parts of it. Not that maybe everything feels great. And so the reason why I said being able to connect positively with your mess, your inner mess, is that means that when we are struggling, even when we're wrong, things aren't going the way we want them to go, like all the negative experiences we can have in life, they feel bad, the things that feel bad, and we wouldn't ever volunteer to feel them. I see being self-compassionate as holding space for that, being kind to yourself around that, being curious and not criticizing. I kind of, if those who are into like imagery, I think of how we are when our 6-year-old goes and tries out for something that we know is not, we're going to work out, right? And they don't make it. Or, we're seeing them really struggle. They're struggling with friends, they're struggling with themselves, having belief in themselves, being kind to themselves, like whatever. When you think about your child, your partner, your sister, sibling, someone you love, typically, someone you really deeply care for, and how you are towards them when they are struggling, I look at that as being, as how I would define self-compassion. And I wonder if I want to break these apart or just talk about them together. I think I'm just going to define them both and then talk about them together. So how I defined having your own back as is when wrong. No, I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. There's other notes. It's always doing what's best for you, no matter what. Now, someone might be like, wait, what? And so I'm going to further explain what I mean by that. Always doing what's best for you. So I gave a couple examples here that I wanted to talk about. One, say if you fail at something doesn't, you try something and didn't go the way that you wanted. You went out and spoke in a crowd and it went horribly. People hated you. Get out of here. You aimed for a weight loss goal and you didn't make it. You said you wouldn't yell at your children and you do it anyway, right? You claim, you're like, I'm going to visit such and such person more often. And a year's gone by, you've only been there once, right? Like, just think of the things that we do that we're not particularly proud of, or things that happen to us that we're not particularly happy about and we wouldn't ask for. And having your own back in those situations, depending upon what it is, failing, that would be not beating yourself up, right? Because that's not what's best for you. What's best for you is to support you, be kind towards you, hold space for that, feel those feelings, tell yourself, this is okay. I can do this again. I can go for it again. You don't fail. You either win or you learn. Like the things that we do to pep ourselves up, right? Being your biggest cheerleader. When you are struggling at reaching a goal and you just it's just so hard to not doing that thing you said you would stop, right? Doing what's best for you is being kind and caring to yourself. Because beating yourself up and shaming yourself, when we look at net negative results and positive results, no one has ever created the life that they want and also felt good and enjoyed it in such a beautiful space by beating themselves up and shaming themselves. So that means that inherently is not what's best for you. So that's what I mean. Always doing what's best for you. So shaming yourself, judging yourself, and I thought of something. Shaming yourself, judging yourself, beating yourself up are never what's best for you, even if that's what you were taught to do. Now, when I say always, I just thought about that. I want to explain that this always doing what's best for you doesn't mean that you don't have your own back or you're a person that just doesn't have your own back when you slip up and don't do that. Because remember, y'all, where it's also not about perfection. There is no all or nothing. You're never going to be all for you or all against you, right? We have these ebb and flows. And so we're not aiming for perfection. So use that. I'm saying that always loosely, but it's who you are. It's who you strive to be, what you've dedicated to do, even if you slip up. So what I wanted to talk about too, about having your own back, is what's so interesting. Someone may hear what I'm saying and think I'm saying give yourself a pass, right? Always, it wasn't me, it was them. Right? Like not looking within. But remember, having your own back is doing what's best for you always. And giving yourself a pass, blaming other people, not taking accountability, literally wouldn't create the results that you ultimately want. So those inherently can't be what's best for you. And so holding yourself accountable, I think I wrote this down to make sure that I said this. No, I didn't. I just trusted that I will remember. Holding yourself accountable, being honest with yourself, right? Admitting to yourself at least, right? And as we grow to others that we're wrong. We did the wrong thing. That wasn't, the best interest of the person or ourselves. Like in all these different ways we hold ourselves accountable, that is in your best interest. That is doing what's best for you. So that is part of having your own back, to be the one that's being honest with you. Because if you're not honest with yourself and you're not taking accountability, you literally won't change the thing, right? Like, it's not wrong. It was that person, not me. It was because of my past, my story. This is just how I was raised. Like all the different ways that we do that. That isn't what's best for you, because you're going to keep, displacing the blame and the accountability, and you won't look within to make the needed changes to create the results that you want. Very interesting. So remember that. It may not, it's having your own back, it may not always feel good, right? It doesn't feel good to sometimes hold ourselves accountable and really see ourselves and see that shadow side that people call it shadow side, dark side, ego, all different kinds, but we all have it. And so us being honest with ourselves, taking accountability, and seeing things for what they are is having our own back, because it is doing what's best for us. So the reason why, or some reasons why, I believe that self-compassion and having your own back, now that you see how I define them, are really up there, really high on the scale of what's required to be successful and create success. And what I define that is like really truly living the life you want, going after the things that you want. I don't even think you need to have those things in order to be successful yet, but like going after it, right? It's the grind, it's the engagement in life, it's the journey that really matters the most, because the destination is so quick, right? You then jump onto another goal. And so the reason why I think those things are most important is because they are going to equip you with the brain and the body, like the emotions, to do the thing, or the emotional awareness, the emotional intelligence, the emotional wealth to do the hard things, right? So for example, if I can say having your own back, and we talk about, say something happened and you embarrassed yourself, right? Or you were very vulnerable with someone and they disregarded you, or you felt disregarded, or you have been parenting a certain way and then it blew up in your face, right? Like having your own back and being compassionate in those spaces, are being kind to you, creating that safe space, taking care of that, your heart and the inner child that, helps you to really allow those emotions to be there and not shame yourself and blame yourself and all those things. And when you do that, then you create a space in your mind to think differently, right? To evaluate the situation objectively and not blame yourself or judge yourself or give yourself a pass. And then to decide with that intelligence, with that way of thinking, how do I want to show up differently? How can I create different results? But if you don't have your own back, you're going to beat yourself up. You're not going to do what's best for you always. And if you're not self-compassionate, you're going to judge yourself, shame yourself. Like this bowl, if you will, of things that we do to ourselves literally won't give us the ability to get up when we fail, which is what we call emotional resilience, to be able to take care of yourself and be there for you and get up and go at it again and go at it again and go at it again, no matter how many times you fail. Also, having these two things allow you to redefine failure and look at it as a lesson learned that you truly will use to help you do better next time. Holding yourself accountable, right? Because if you always do what's best for you, we've talked about that, you're going to hold yourself accountable so you can see things that may be hard to see. When things don't go wrong and you made a poor choice, you trusted someone you shouldn't have, you made a poor business decision, you made a poor decision in parenting, you said yes when you should have said no when you should have said yes, you operated out of anger and outbursts and all those things, you do something that you aren't proud of, these two things allow you to see it for what it is. It allows you to go back to the drawing board, and allows you to love yourself and help you through this, so it's not on someone else to do that for you. These things allow you to just really take on more than you would if you didn't have these characteristics. So I think I've driven the point home. I think that what I want to leave you with is, if you are listening to this and you're like, yeah, I beat myself up all the time. I am not kind to myself and other people. I'm always judging myself and other people. I'm always feeling shame, feeling like I'm not good enough. I don't know enough, and really holding myself to these crazy high perfectionistic standards. And I'm people pleasing, and I'm like, whatever, like it manifests in all of us in many different ways. If that is you, I just want to offer that all you have to do is decide that you are going to do this work, that you like, I've heard it. This sounds good. I'm on the bandwagon. I want to learn how to have compassion for myself. I want to learn how to have my own back and really truly step into the person that decides and goes for that. And you will create these results. You will hire the help you need. You will get the book you need. You will run across a podcast. I can't tell you how many times exactly I made a decision to work on something, and what I needed just literally came into my life, right? So decide it, be serious about it, and everything you need will follow. And if this is really resonating with you and you have considered coaching and you want help with this and you're ready for that, this is what I help people do, right? This may be what you needed to hear to take the next step. And I believe wholeheartedly in coaching. I talk about it all the time on my page. If you're not connected with me on social, Instagram is the best place to go, because my link is there that takes you to all of the things, all of the ways you can find me, work with me, join us in different things that we have going on locally and virtually, and to really drive all of this home. I love this shit. I love helping people with this. And so anyway, the social medias, all the things will help you to see how important coaching can be for you, the tool of coaching. I think that's it, y'all. I think I'm going to roll out. Thank you for listening. I would love to hear what comes up for you as you're thinking about the importance of having compassion for yourself as you grow, as you learn, as you fail, as you get up again, and having your own back in whatever way that means for you in the moment, and how both of those can really be the two characteristics that change everything for you. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and we shall see each other soon. Hey girl, thanks for tuning in. If you love this and you want to take this work deeper, definitely reach out to me and let's schedule your free 1-hour consult. We will dive deep into everything you have going on, where you are, where you want to be, and clearly how I can help you get there. Super simple, no obligation, only space for deep transformation. I would love to hear from you. I'll leave my email in the show notes and also links where you can connect with me on social. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.